have you here on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. I'm Jerry Usher along with Debbie Georgiani and you. And you are the ones who drive the show, and we think you're going to have a lot to say about our topic for today. But first, Debbie, I see that we are color coordinated again.
That's what I was laughing about. I'm looking at, we're wearing the exact same color blue, and we did not plan this. There was no email that went out. That is amazing. We're starting to think alike. That's scary. What do you think? I mean, we didn't even plan that.
Well, this is an inadvertent moment. It may not be embarrassing, but...
It's only embarrassing for a woman if another woman is wearing the exact same outfit to an event. Yeah, then that.
Which woman is it embarrassing for? Both of them?
That's a good question. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. You always see that on movies and stuff. You know, they show up at the red carpet with the same dress on, and it's always that awkward moment. Who looks better in the dress?
Well, that's what we're talking about today. Awkward moments, inadvertent, embarrassing moments. Maybe you have had a situation where, well, here's a grand scale example, Debbie. Remember these football highlights where there's a play going on and the ball is fumbled and a runner picks it up and he's going the wrong way, and his own teammate has to run down there and tackle him before he scores. That was inadvertent and certainly embarrassing. Yeah. For that. Maybe you called somebody by the wrong name at one point. Maybe you went the wrong way on a one-way street, and then you realize that. So we're talking about these moments in our lives where we don't realize at the moment that what we're doing is maybe wrong or out of place or whatever, but then either someone brings it to our attention or we ultimately realize it.
So those embarrassing moments, but then they turn into really funny memories. We did this show a couple of years ago, and we had some really great calls come in. Do you remember this, Jerry, about folks that said they had embarrassing moments at church? Yeah, and it was hilarious. I think about it. I hope if you're still listening, call in and share your story again, because remember, we always have a new group of listeners. We're always growing the Take Two family. There's new affiliates coming on board. So we want to hear from you. So those moments in life where you're just going along and all of a sudden you realize, everybody's looking at me. I'm probably not doing the right thing, or this is embarrassing. We want to hear from you. Let's have some fun with this. 833-288-3986. Please get on the show. We want to hear from you. Who is call screening today? Is it Michael McCall? We'll ask Michael. Michael, if you could tell us we know that Jeff Burson. Yes, it's Michael McCall. I got it right, Jerry. This is so exciting. The beginning of the week, I got one thing right. And then we got Jeff Burson on social media.
Okay, well, I had an inadvertent, embarrassing moment just very recently, and I've got another one that I'm going to share from a few years back. But, with the social distancing, and they put the circles down on the floor in the grocery stores,
right?
And they have like entryways from each end, and then you sort of are guided to an aisle, or you choose an aisle. And what I did was I got in there, and I just dashed right over to an aisle that was open, and I realized that they actually had someone controlling the traffic, telling people when to come in and when to go to which aisle and so forth. Gotcha. So I kind of sheepishly, she said, just go ahead. But I actually ended up cutting in front of a bunch of people.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did you feel embarrassed?
Yeah, for a couple minutes.
Yeah, but then you got over it.
I got over it.
Yeah. And it makes a funny story. I like that. Yeah. So, okay, you heard Jerry's story. Maybe I'll share one or two or three. I have embarrassing moments every day of my life, but I'm very proud of it. It's a good thing. 8 keeps me humble. 833-288-3986. Come on, you guys. This is a Take Two family. Show up strong. Share your embarrassing moments. Let's laugh together. We're not going to be laughing at you. We're going to be laughing with you. And that's so important. Jerry, I think I have a really good sense of humor. I can laugh at myself. I make some really dorky comments. And I'll give you an example. I did the word of the day today for Annunciation Radio. I do their Tuesdays. And I was live today. And Dave Vasquez was asking me some history questions. I actually knew the right answer, but I didn't want to, I don't know why. I just said I said the wrong answer because I guess I just didn't want to, I don't know what I was thinking, but it was so embarrassing. And I thought, what is the matter with me? Why didn't I just, so anyway, I'm really dorky. And then I laughed at it. I probably look like a fool on air, but that's okay. I'm used to it.
Well, you were live, so there was extra pressure. It wasn't being recorded. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you second guess yourself when you're live, right? And you just so I kind of just said something just to kind of go along with it, but then I was thinking, why did I say that? That was so stupid.
Well, another word you said a minute ago, I think, is important with regard to a show like this. It's kind of lighthearted. Not dorky.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of lighthearted, and we might be wondering, well, where's the spiritual significance in this? You use the word humble, Debbie. We can have humbling moments in our lives such as these, and so how we move on from there, how we handle them, how we receive these moments, I think is very important. So, again, if you have had, kind of done some little faux pas that you didn't realize it at the time, give us a call at 833-288-3986. Maybe you invited some good friends out to dinner and you were going to pay the tab, and the check comes and you hit your pants pockets, patting them, and you go, I left my wallet at home.
Or how about when your credit card gets declined?
Oh, yeah, right.
That's so embarrassing.
That's even worse, I think.
Do you make an excuse like, that must be like an expired card or something. I don't know why that happened. No, it seems to work fine. It's declined. Sorry.
How about maybe you were sure you filed your taxes on time and it just was out of your mind, and you weren't even subconscious about it, and then you get a letter from the IRS or a call from your CPA or something saying, you're late on this, So there's any number of things we can do. You might go to a wedding reception and inadvertently enjoy some of the spiked punch versus the regular punch, because they may not even be able to taste the alcohol in it, but pretty soon you realize you need to ask for a ride home.
You're drunk.
Yeah. Or a little tipsy, yeah.
Right, a little tipsy. Can I ask an important question? Is dorky a word, or is that just the 1980s from how I grew up? Did you use that word, like you're such a dork? Is that even a word?
Well, I've certainly used it, yeah.
I got to look it up on the break.
Okay, you do that. Give us a full report.
I don't know what do you say? Silly? You're being silly, or you're being, you know what? We have to keep a sense of humor. I think it's really important. I like how you said that, Jerry, about humility, learning those lessons of humility. But I think it's important that we can have a healthy laughter at ourselves, because we don't take ourselves so seriously, and also we're very comfortable in our skin. There's so many aspects of this that can relate to our spirituality. You were spot on, Jerry, as always.
Well, I put on the show website the blurb about today's program. I actually have a pretty high-level inadvertent embarrassing moment that involves Pope Francis. Ooh. So stick around for that. That's coming up in just a minute, as are the calls from Sherry and Eddie and you at 833-288-3986.
Now there's a fast and easy way to get in touch with EWTN. The EWTN Everything number. Call 1-800-447-EWTN to get the latest information on programming, special events, pilgrimages, and more. Our EWTN Family Viewer Services representatives are ready to help you with whatever your needs may be. The EWTN Everything number. 1-800-447-EWTN. EWTN.
He is honored by the Church as a saint with the title of the Angelic Doctor.
Matthew Bunson and the Doctors of the Church.
St. Thomas Aquinas wrote a basic textbook for young theology students that became the Church's most famous and comprehensive guide to the faith, the Summa Theologica. It is still read today and helped earn him the title Doctor of the Church. He died in 1274.
For more about the Doctors of the Church, visit doctorsofthechurch.com.
Ever wonder about the power of prayer? St. John Chrysostom states that prayer and converse with God is a supreme good. It is a partnership and union with God. As the eyes of the body are enlightened when they see light, so our spirit, when it is intent on God through prayer, is illumined by His infinite light. Let God's infinite light be your guiding light. Ask Him to guide you daily in your prayer, work, recreation, home life with family, and your friendships.
We're talking about those embarrassing moments that you've experienced, and now you can talk about it, and we can all share together and laugh at the situation. Real quickly, Catholic Connection with Teresa Tomeo. It's Monday through Friday mornings, 9 Eastern Time on EWTN Radio. And Teresa and her guests share their Catholic perspective on the day's news. And it's super important. I suggest everybody tune in to Teresa Tomeo every single day, every single weekday, because what she has to say keeps us up to date and current. And she just does such a fine job. And so she's got our best interest at heart, and I think that is huge. But Jerry, before you share your awkward story about Pope Francis, I just want to say to the Take Two family, thank you so very much. I did the exact same thing, Take Two family. I looked up the word dork in the dictionary. They're all sending me the definitions right now, and it means a silly, out-of-touch person who tends to look odd or behave ridiculously around others, a social misfit, a socially inept person. Yep. That's me, all right. Okay, Jerry.
No, it isn't.
I'm joking. You know what? Hey, it's you got to have a sense of humor. Otherwise, you'd cry all day long.
Yeah, we'll get to your calls here. A lot of them. We have a couple of lines open at 833-288-3986. My inadvertent embarrassing moment kind of tangentially has to do about Pope Francis. Debbie, you were there. I was there. Our colleague Nick Scott was there. We were at the World Meeting of Families in Philadelphia in 2015, I believe it was. And I had my program Vocation Boom Radio at the time, and we had a guest on the show who I believe was the rector at the time of St. Charles Borromeo Seminary. And so Nick and I decided, hey, let's go say hi to him. We love him. He loves us. He loves what we're doing for vocations and so forth. So we had rented this big white van to carry around all of our stuff. I mean, this is the biggest van I've ever driven in my life. It's a wonder we all survived it. So Nick and I hop in the van. We head over to St. Charles Seminary. We're both wearing sunglasses because it was a bright, sunny day. And we pull in, and the guy at the security post wants to know what we're doing. And we said, well, we're here to see Monsignor so-and-so. Can we see him? Nope. Well, he said he's not here or something. Do you know when he's going to be back? No. Can we go in and leave him a message? No.
Because I thought you were going to kidnap him.
Well, I thought, man, this guy's rude. Be a little kind or something. So he says, you guys just have to leave. So we did a U-turn and left, and we're driving back. And in a few minutes, it hit me. I went, oh, Nick, Pope Francis is going to be spending the night tonight at the seminary. And here are two, you talk about dorks, driving up in a big white cargo van with sunglasses, asking to see somebody at the seminary where the Pope's going to be sleeping that night.
An unmarked van with out-of-state license plates.
Yeah, so that was, see, this is what we mean by inadvertent. We weren't even thinking that. We're just thinking we want to stop in and see someone who loves our ministry and we want to say hi to them. And it ended up being quite embarrassing.
I think that is hilarious. I've heard that story several times. I laugh every single time you tell it, and I would say that definitely gets the all-time dork award.
Okay.
We just invented another award. Okay, we have a couple of open phone lines. What is going on? Where is the Take Two family? You guys cannot be that perfect. Come on. You had to have had a little embarrassing moment. Share it with the world. Come on. What do you got to lose? 833-288-3986. Please pick up that phone. Speak to Michael McCall. He'll speak with you for a few minutes, put you on hold, and then you get to jump right in and share your embarrassing moment. Just like first up, Sherry is in Tulsa, Oklahoma Catholic Radio. That's the way you're listening. First time caller. And now help us out. Is it Sherry or Cherry?
It's Cherry, like
Cherry.
the tree.
Okay. Beautiful. Hi, Cherry. So nice to speak with you today.
Well, good morning. It's so nice to speak to you. I enjoy listening most mornings. So, well, like you, I've had many embarrassing moments. And this particular morning, many years ago, my husband had given me a gift certificate for really one of the most exclusive salons in Tulsa to have my hair done. And I had never gone before. I was just so excited to have my hair colored and feel like, well, they really know what they're doing, So they ushered me in and asked, well, first of all, put a gown on, to protect your clothes. So there is the room. So I went in, and the little room, it was more like a walk-in closet, plenty of room to change. Well, they didn't just have a blue plastic gown to throw over me. They had every different color of a dress, sort of. And, of course, I picked the prettiest one. And then I had to wait a little bit. So she did my hair and put me under the dryer for the to warm up the chemicals. Well, this one woman was staring at me, and it was odd. She was just looking at me a long time. Well, then the beautician came over and whispered to me. She said, "You are wearing her dress."
Oh, no.
Are you there?
Yeah, we're here. We're here, Cherry. Yeah, absolutely. So what did you?
Okay.
How did you feel at that time?
Oh my gosh, I just got hot all over. I mean, no wonder she was staring at me the whole time.
Oh my goodness.
They had put all these chemicals on my hair, and I'm under the dryer, and thank goodness there were no drippings from the chemicals on my hair, or it would have ruined her dress. Oh my gosh, I didn't talk to her. I just immediately got up and went in the room and then put something else on. But I don't know when I stopped feeling hot. I was so embarrassed.
Well,
it
but
was a beautiful dress.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what's interesting about that? When you said, you got, all of a sudden you could feel this, sense of like this unbelievable heat to come over you. And that is so true, because when the moment it occurs to you what is happening and you are living it and you're thinking to yourself, okay, what are my next steps now? You start to get that, right? You start to get that like adrenaline rush, and it's like a hot flash,
Right.
like to the max. I could actually picture myself when you were talking about it. Wow. I mean, Jerry, you can't relate to that because you don't have any
I can
hair
relate
to
to what you
get
just
colored.
said. You would be mortified, Debbie. I know you. You would be mortified.
I would be absolutely mortified. Yeah. But
That's it.
But let me ask you this
I
quick
lived
question.
through it. I'm fine.
You did live through it, so you never spoke to her after that? There was no conversation afterwards?
No, I felt too embarrassed to approach her, really. I think she could tell when the beautician leaned down and whispered to me, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Wow. Well, you lived through it.
I should have said, I'm very sorry, but I could have said, you have wonderful taste in clothes, or, something like that.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you lived through it, and now you can talk about it, and that's the good news, is that you got through it, and you probably won't have anything else like that happen again, so that's the good news. You survived, Cherry.
I survived. We certainly hope not. Well, I enjoy your program so much. I look forward to hearing more of the embarrassing stories.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
And you just shared it courageously on Worldwide Radio, Cherry. So thanks for the call from Tulsa. We appreciate that. Our number is 833-288-3986, talking about inadvertent embarrassing moments. You do something, you say something, and you don't really realize kind of how it might be affecting other people, maybe a little bit. If you did know, you wouldn't say it, you'd be embarrassed by it, things like that. 833-288-3986.
Jerry, I just wanted to say I was sharing this with a friend of mine this weekend, actually. We were talking about things that happened when we used to work for the parishes, when we used to work in ministry at the parish level. And I can remember this so clearly. Tell me if you remember this from your seminary days. There were so many times, and any priests out there, deacons, you can relate to this. We would put the lav mic, hooked onto their waistband, and then it would run up their vestments, and it would be there, and they'd have to click it on and off. And many times father or deacon would leave the altar and they would head back to the sacristy, and we could hear them talking out loud. And we as a staff would go running down the aisles going, "Don't say another word. You have your microphone on." And we have heard pretty much everything with an open mic. And it was, talk about embarrassing, but the priests and deacons, some of them had such a great sense of humor. They would come back out, and if people were still praying, they'd say, "Sorry, folks, this is what happens," and it was kind of cool. What were you shaking your head for and laughing? Do you remember those days?
I knew where you were going with that. I've done the same thing. I have run warp speed up to the sacristy and poked my head back there and said, "Father, your mic is on." Shh. I mean, let's face it, our priests are not going to be saying anything inappropriate in most cases, but you never know. They might be talking to someone about a very private matter in that person's life or something. And,
True.
And you and I both know, being on radio, a lot of on-air studios have a sign up on the wall. It says, "If you don't want it on the air, don't say it in this room." You
Right.
could assume all day that the mics are all off. But sometimes, I've had experiences where the mic was on and I said something. Don't know what it was, but it's very easy to do.
Yep. And it gets embarrassing. Okay, let's hear what Eddie has to say in Dallas, Texas on Guadalupe Radio Network. And Eddie is a first-time caller as well. Welcome, Eddie, to Take Two.
Thank you. Nice to be on.
Good to have you on. Go right ahead.
Yeah, so my embarrassing moment is when I was an altar boy.
Okay, what happened?
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so when after finishing communion, there's steps, so we would go up and start putting the stuff away. But then the habit that I had was a little bit longer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then as I was going up the steps, I slipped. But people thought I was doing reverence. But they didn't realize I actually fell.
Is that right?
Oh. So you kind of covered it up or recovered from it, right? So you passed it off that you were, yeah.
Yeah, I caught myself, but then they're all smiling at me after the service, what?
Yeah.
Why are you smiling at me? Are you laughing, or are you happy that? But they thought that I was actually doing reverence.
Right. Good cover.
Yeah,
I love that.
I just agreed with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing.
That was good. Okay, real quickly, I have to ask this. Jerry, were you an altar server?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I have to ask you this, Eddie and Jerry. I used to see this all the time, and then I found out later it has to do with the circulation that gets stopped. And when altar servers are kneeling for long periods of time, sometimes they'll pass out. Have you ever seen that? Either one of you? I actually have, and I found out it's a lack of circulation.
I don't know, Eddie, have you experienced that?
Well, I know that they tie certain things to the habit to make it look shorter.
Sure.
But
Wow.
maybe.
I've actually seen it where I've seen him the altar server just keeled over.
I have not experienced that as far as the loss of circulation. What I have experienced is, and this is common with churches that are made this way, kneeling on the marble for a long time. And just as time goes on, and sometimes the priest is very slow and reverent in delivering the prayers and so forth, and you're just going, "Come on, Father, my knees are killing me."
Okay, how about this? I'll ask you this. Have either one of you seen an altar server fall asleep? I've seen that. I've seen Father fall asleep.
Yeah.
Does it count if you're the one?
Does it count if you're the one? Oh, is that you, Eddie? So what else have you done as an altar server?
And there's also the part where the priest is saying the prayer over the gifts, the wine and the bread. And I was supposed to be the one doing the bells. I'm like, why don't I hear any bells? Oh, that was me. That was my job.
Well, and I remember I was more of an altar server as an adult, mostly during my seminary years, because my place of residence during summers and breaks from college was at the cathedral. And so the archbishop was there and, very, very strict in the rubrics and everything. So I really only have experience as an adult. But Eddie, if you were doing this when you were younger, I think, Debbie, don't you think as well that, this is something people find maybe even a little bit endearing about our young people, if they make a little mistake or don't ring the bell at the right time or
fall asleep.
Things like that. Yeah. So, I think you were pretty safe there, Eddie, if you were doing these things when you were younger.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, one of them I wasn't young, so.
Okay.
Okay, now you're going too far. Okay, Eddie, no, I'm just teasing. That's hilarious. And thank you for sharing today. But this is, we could actually do a whole show around mass embarrassing things. I mean, when you think about it, there's so many things we've seen. Thank you, Eddie, so very much. If you want to join in and share your embarrassing moment, now's the time to do it at 833-288-3986. This is Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Jimmy Aiken.
One of my greatest joys in life is the joy of discovery, especially discovering answers to the questions about God, about the world that He's made, and how we can find our way to Him.
The leading Catholic voices are on EWTN Radio.
Hey, Take Two family, it's here, and we can't wait for you to see what we've created to help you reach your highest potential in life. It's StandTallToday.com, our brand new website loaded with just the things you're looking for. Those include our team of life coaches, resources picked out just for you, our webinars, book club, and more. Whether you're struggling to find your purpose or feel like you have it pretty much figured out, let us help you today at StandTallToday.com. That's StandTallToday.com.
Hi, this is an EWTN Bookmark Brief, speaking here with Father Edward Looney about his book, Our Lady of Good Help, prayer book for pilgrims. This is about a particular apparition. Which one?
Yes, in the United States, we're very blessed to have an apparition of Our Lady in Wisconsin. In my own diocese of Green Bay, in the village of Champion, commemorate at the National Shrine of Our Lady of Good Help. And Mary appeared to a Belgian immigrant, Adele Brice, in 1859 and told her she was the Queen of Heaven who prays for the conversion of sinners, to do the same, to offer communion for the conversion of sinners, and then to gather the children and teach them.
Right. Is there a website or someplace people go to?
Championshrine.org.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much, Father Edward Looney, for another book, Our Lady of Good Help, prayer book for pilgrims. And, of course, the book is available through our EWTN religious catalog. rc.com is a place for all great things Catholic. Check it out and check us out next time. Thanks for stopping by for this bookmark brief.
Hi, this is Janet Williams. You don't have to be a woman to enjoy Women of Grace tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern here on EWTN Radio. Now, back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Have you ever gone down a one-way street the wrong way? Have you ever...
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Maybe you've been out to lunch with your sister-in-law, planning your brother's surprise birthday party, and people see the two of you together and think something more is going on. These are the inadvertent, embarrassing moments that we're talking about today. Called somebody by the wrong name, things like this. 833-288-3986. Shall we return to the phone calls?
I think going down the wrong way on a street is dangerous. I'm just going to say that.
It is. I've done it by accident.
Have you ever done this? This is really bad. Should we share this? Have you ever missed your off ramp and you've backed up to have you ever done that? I have. I'm going to admit it.
I probably have, yeah.
Well, the only reason I did is because the next exit was like 25 miles.
I know. There are some stretches of road like that.
I know. I've done it. It's so bad. But that was years ago, if any nice highway patrolmen are listening. It was years ago.
Statute of limitations is passed.
Yeah, and it was only a little bit of backing up and getting on to the on-ramp. It was safe, trust me. Okay. Actually, it was totally wrong to do. If anybody's listening who's like 17, 18, don't listen to me at that point. Okay, Paul is in Atlanta, Georgia, and Paul is also a first-time caller. Jerry, look at this. This is awesome. And listening on The Quest, one of our favorite affiliates there. Hi, Paul. Welcome.
Hi, how you guys doing today?
Pretty well, Paul. How about you?
Oh, doing great, doing great. A little embarrassing moment. I was getting ready to go to work one day. It was during the winter, so it's naturally dark out in the mornings. And I leave about an hour before my wife does, so I'm trying to be quiet, not turn any lights on and anything. So I get dressed, and in my office we wear polo shirts, and I have the office logo and my name embroidered on it. So I put my shirt on, get dressed, go off to work, throw my jacket on. I get to work, and I take my jacket off and walk up to the front desk, start talking to my staff, and they are all just kind of looking at me funny and saying, Doc, you better go check your shirt. And I'm like, what, I got something on it? It was on inside out. Oh, and the back of the embroidery was showing. I was like, oops.
Okay, see now, but I have to say that's a perfect example, Jerry and Paul, that you could have easily, to recover nicely, just like Eddie did. You could have said, "Didn't anybody see on the news today was wear your shirt inside out day?"
That would have been good. I just at that point I was like, I'll be right back.
Well, at least it was an easy fix, Paul. Right? Just go into the men's restroom, take it off, put it back on.
And it was before anybody had showed up in the office other than the staff, so I think I would have been more embarrassed if we would have had people in the office.
So do you have a policy now, Paul? You at least turn a little lamp on when you're getting dressed in the morning, hopefully not to wake your wife up?
I always make sure now, I make sure I walk through the bathroom, look in the mirror to make sure my shirt is not on inside out.
Oh my goodness! I was thinking the same thing, Jerry. It's like at least give you a flashlight or something to just make sure you have everything buttoned up.
Well, I kind of have everything laid out and all that, but today, you know how the clothes washer turns your clothes inside out. Well, it did it with this one.
That's good. Well, like you said, at least there wasn't an office full of customers, if you have them, or whatever.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah,
I say wear it proudly, Paul. I say next time that happens, you just wear it proudly. You just pretend like it's some new trend.
It's International Shirt Inside Out Day.
Exactly. That's what I say.
Awesome, Paul. Thanks for the laugh this morning, and thanks for joining us here on Take Two. For the first time, you will not be a first-time caller ever again, but we hope that you will be a caller to the program. Claire is in New Hampshire listening on her Alexa device to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. Hi, Claire. Welcome.
Well, hi. So nice to speak with you all. And Debbie, a lot of what you said, I've done it.
And then we can be friends, Claire.
You bet, especially Italian friends.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I was in parochial high school, and we were outside during lunchtime in the schoolyard. And myself and my girlfriends, we decided, it's too hot. We're going to go back in school, which you're not supposed to be doing. And we were roaming the hallway, and lo and behold, we passed that forbidden door where all the nuns take their break. And we thought, we'll never see what that looks like. So we snuck inside, and we were just looking around. We thought, we're not allowed in here. Let's see what they're doing. So we hear them coming down the hall talking, and there was only one place we could go, and they have a single bathroom in that room. So we went in there, and we shut the door, and we must have prayed the whole rosary, hoping that none of those sisters would discover us in that bathroom. So not only was that embarrassing, but that was super scary. And when they left, we snuck out of there so quick and went into that playground. You never seen 3 people sneaking out of a school so fast.
Okay, Claire, you can totally relate to this. Okay, whenever you go to Catholic school and you have nuns, sisters, okay, that are teaching in the school or running the school, and whenever you do anything like what you did, okay, with your friends and your classmates, can you feel your heart beating outside of your chest? Because I can remember that vividly. The times that we would sneak around the nuns and stuff, my heart would race so loud. I knew I could hear it.
Just telling that story, I'm getting upset because it was so fearful.
Mm-hmm. Heart palpitations. Yeah. We probably all have
we laughed about it because we got to stay in. Only by the grace of God did they not open that door.
Wow. Oh my goodness. I think
for all
that
those who went to parochial school, you can relate to that one.
Oh yeah, totally, totally. I have some great stories. I'm still friends with so many of my elementary school that we went to St. Aloysius in Caldwell, New Jersey. I tell you what, we still can talk about things that we just crack up, and we always used to just like trying to get away with just a little bit, so that I don't know what it was with Catholic school, but there was this little need to kind of, I don't know, show independence. Claire, what would you say it is? Rebellion? I don't know.
I don't know. It's that forbidden fruit, and you just go try it out.
Yeah.
And yes, I have seen altar boys faint, and I've seen local classmates during high mass with all the incense faint.
Oh, that's right, the incense. That's right.
Yeah.
See, Jerry can't relate to some of this, Claire, because you didn't go to Catholic school, did you, Jerry?
I did for part of first grade.
That's it? And then what did they do? Tell you to leave?
Well, I could look out my bedroom window and see the public school. So the public school was literally a 30-second walk from my house.
Oh.
And it was only our mom with 5 kids, and she was driving us to the Catholic school, which was 30 miles away. And it was an icy road morning, and we drove off into the ditch. And my mom said, "That's it. You're going to the school across the street."
Wow. And then you stayed in public school.
I ask you a question.
Sure.
Yeah.
When you were out in the schoolyard and it was really windy, did you ever wait and look and wait for the nun's veil to blow up?
Oh, all the time.
We wanted to see the up because we were wondering what's underneath there.
Yeah, we used to. With the wind, when the wind would blow, the first thing that we all did as Catholic schoolgirls is we would hold on to our skirts because they were down to our knees, right? So we'd hold on, and then we'd stare to see if the nun's habit was going to blow off, or they were going to go flying off into the wind or something. But yeah, we used to.
We had you beat there because we used to wear shorts underneath that because when we did jump rope, your skirt would always blow up, your uniform.
There you go. There you go. Well, I'll tell you one other thing before we let you go, Claire. Jerry's probably getting bored by this, but I'm going to share it anyway. We used to have to, you had to have you probably didn't know this, Jerry, your uniform had to be a certain length. So it had to be over like your knees. And so the nuns would actually like visually make sure everybody's skirts were, the perfect modest length. And as soon as we'd get in the classroom, we'd roll up the waistband like 2 inches. So we would have like sort of mini skirts until the nuns would look at us again, and then we'd lower the waistband. I don't know if you ever did that, Claire, but we used to do that all the time. I don't know. It's hilarious. Now they make shorts and pants like that.
We couldn't do that because our uniform was one piece. It was a jumper.
A jumper. Yeah. No, we had skirts. Yeah. Wow. And see, we could share all the little ins and outs of Catholic school.
That's right. That's
oh,
right.
Boy, I could be on the phone all day with you sharing this.
Well, thank you, Claire. We would love to have you on for any length of time, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other people waiting, and we're going to get to as many as we can. But you have really graced the program today, Claire, with your take. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. 833-288-3986. Ron is our friend in Los Angeles, listening on EWTN.com. Hi, Ron. Welcome. Happy Independence Day a few days ago.
Yeah, happy cock-a-doodle-doo.
Hi, Ron.
Good morning. I have got one memory that just flashes in my brain of all the craziness and, dork number one here did over my lifetime, and at 60 now. I've got 50 years of practice. But back in 1986, roughly, I and a coworker, I'll call him Jose, we're getting ready to get on one of the local freeways. And at that time, and still now, there are a lot of these Mexican vendors out there with the fruit carts and things like that. And my friend noticed that there was some grapes that were among the selection. So he's having me ask the guy, who also is Mexican, to get the green grapes. And the guy only spoke Spanish. I'm trying to think, my friend's been trying to teach me Spanish, and I'm trying to think of the word for green. And the next thing that comes out of my mouth is I said, no, the gringo grapes, the gringo grapes.
Oh.
And my friend just laughs out loud, busting a gut. And for a moment, I'm stuck trying to figure out what is he laughing about. And then it finally hits me. I'm thinking, I wanted to bury my head in the sand and keep on going. But that was just one of numerous issues. And I definitely have my at least 2 decades of altar service stories as well to throw in there sometime.
Yeah. I'll bet you started, brushing up on your Spanish right away, huh?
I don't think I lasted much longer at that job shot, the job itself, and he and I kind of parted ways over time, but I think he gave up on trying to teach me Spanish.
Right. Yeah, well, it's these types of things happen, and I'd love to hear some of your altar server stories too, Ron, because I know you've done a lot of that well into your adult years, and I wish we had time to hear some of those. But Debbie, anything for Ron?
Well, I think the verdict and the vote is in that we definitely need to do a show on different mass embarrassing moments and maybe have some clergy call in as well. So definitely, Ron, we'll have to hear some of those stories. But just going back to foreign languages, I can totally relate. When I used to be able to converse in Italian because I took it. I took a lot of classes actually in school, but then I went on my own and tried to brush up on it. And when I went to Italy, I struggled so badly because of the feminine, masculine version of the word and what this means and the slight just a little bit, it's a little bit off and it means something totally different. And so then I found myself not even wanting to speak because how do you check first to see if you're saying the right thing? And so finally the nice man at the hotel, he just said, just speak. He said it in Italian to me. He said, just speak, will you? Just say it. If you say it wrong, you can just laugh about it. And so then I felt the confidence. But I do think, especially in a foreign language, there's an element of confidence that has to be playing a part. Wouldn't you say, Jerry? Because you're switching that part of your brain, you're changing languages, and you just have to feel confident that you're at least saying it somewhat accurately.
Absolutely. I think I've told you this before, Debbie. I think in Spanish all the time. Every day, multiple times, I'll pass, signs advertising a business or freeway signs or this or that, listening to something on TV, and my mind is always translating it into Spanish. Not that I'm fluent in it, but I had 2 years in college, a summer in Mexico as a seminarian, and I do have, to a degree, that confidence. But when you get into a real life situation, it's like I know what to say, but it's just not coming right now. And maybe it's because you don't want to be embarrassed, or like you said, you don't want to say a word that means something that you don't want it to mean.
Right.
But yeah.
All I say is go back to the movie. What's it? My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one? Remember they kept playing jokes on him of how to say things. And he kept saying the wrong things, and they were playing jokes on the future brother-in-law. So, but that's so true. That confidence has to play in. Thank you, Ron, so very much, and don't forget to call back when we do the show on mass embarrassing moments. Okay, Ron, thank you so very much, Jerry.
Well, I want to mention Wings from EWTN. It is a wonderful service that will help you stay up to date on everything going on at EWTN radio and television and all of their other ministries and outreaches. And you find books and art and CDs and DVDs from the religious catalog, plus blogs, bookmark, news and events. Sign up for Wings, our weekly e-newsletter at EWTN.com.
Okay, so this is the second time I was right this week. I'm so excited. Remember I said that we did the show a couple years ago, but we're always growing the family, brand new callers. And now we have another first-time caller. This is amazing. Shirley in Southern Illinois, listening on Alexa, first-time caller. Thank you, Shirley, for waiting, and welcome.
Well, thank you, Debbie. When I heard your show, I thought this is a good one. I've got way too many stories. And I could go with Claire back to the Catholic school and give you many, many with the nuns. But my story is about what happened at Mass one time. I'm now a retired Catholic school teacher, and it was graduation night, and the teachers had been invited to go to be the Eucharistic ministers. And the 8th grade teacher had lost a lot of weight, and she looked awesome in her pretty dress and whatever. And as we're standing there waiting to be ready to give communion, I glanced over at her because I saw her kind of fidgeting. Her slip had fallen down to her feet. The slip with the elastic around the waist. I don't know if anybody wears those anymore. Mm-hmm. And so she's standing there, and she's wide-eyed, and I look at her, and she steps out of it and takes it with her other foot and flips it toward me. It lands across the carpet, and I grab it and toss it back behind the surface back.
Okay, that's teamwork.
Oh my God.
Teamwork.
Yes. We don't know how many people actually saw that. No one ever commented, but it was always kind of the inside joke, like, well, that's what you get for losing so much weight and whatever, bless her heart.
Oh.
That's the kind of thing you would see in a comedy movie, and I agree with Debbie.
Yeah,
Definitely, definitely great teamwork. But did you say, Shirley, this is while you were serving the Eucharistic host to the people?
No, oh no. This was as we were waiting. We're at the altar waiting for Father to finish the Eucharistic prayers. At the Lamb of God. No, I don't know what. I wouldn't have noticed that while I was distributing the body of Christ.
I was going to say that would be a real predicament. Wow.
Amazing. You know what I think is truly amazing? I mean, I have to say, I don't know, are men, and I'm not trying to divide, men and women of their abilities to do stuff, but I think women are very quick to react, especially if there's a fashion, something that happens, or wouldn't you say? Yeah, faux pas. Wouldn't you agree with that, Shirley? I think women are very quick, because I know when I got married, on my wedding day, two of the guests at my wedding were very quick to pick up on a different thing that happened with my hair piece in the back of my head, and then also my wedding dress. I mean, women are very quick on that. Would you? I think it's a nice gift that we have. What do you think, Shirley?
Yes, I agree. When my sister-in-law got married, her buttons were popping off the back, and that was holding her dress together. So instead of sewing on these buttons that had been loosely sewn on in the first place, her mother just sewed her into her gown. She just sewed up the back of the dress and sewed her in, because there wasn't time to sew on every button that had popped.
Wow.
So yeah, somebody's thinking quick.
Yeah, you think quickly. Well, and you know what? I'm not trying to be, men are great as well, but I have to say, my husband, he is like the worst mirror. Okay, women are very good at saying, hey, you've got something in your teeth, or, you've got an eyelash on your cheek or something like that. Not my husband. I mean, I love broccoli, and broccoli gets stuck in your teeth, right? And I always say to him, Marty, take a look. Is there anything in my teeth? No, nothing at all. And I'll go look in a mirror, and there's like 90 pieces of broccoli in my teeth. I said, do you not see? Right?
That sounds familiar, yes. Yes, I've had the inside-out shirts at Mass and the two shoes that don't, a navy blue and a black shoe, and it's like, just pretend it's not happening.
Yeah,
Right.
Too funny.
Wow, this is really a great show. Shirley, thanks for being a part of it. We appreciate that so very much.
Yeah, thank
Zach,
you for having me.
You bet. Zach sent an email, take2@EWTN.com. Dear Debbie and Jerry, one time a friend of mine asked me to check out an unoccupied house with her as she was interested in buying. I got to the house, but I didn't see her. I walked into the house and heard a radio playing and realized I was in the wrong house. It was a home where somebody was living. I got very nervous and left quickly. Fortunately, no one saw me. That's from Zach.
Wow. That could have been dangerous.
That's a classic. Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah. Wow. Do we have time for some more?
Yeah, on social media, Kay, watching on Facebook, says, I was going to introduce a very good friend to someone, and then poof, the name of the very good friend is gone. Brian says, I tripped over my own feet just as I got to the front of the communion line, and the extraordinary minister had to take a step to the side and avoid being knocked over by me. Mm-hmm. I still think about that every time I go to communion. Mm-hmm. And real quickly, Anna Marie says, I was playing in a club one night in a band on the keyboards, and during my solo, a dog wandered in and laid underneath my keyboard every time. Every time I hit a C chord, the dog would howl. I couldn't help it. I got the giggles, and I could not stop laughing. The harder I tried to stop, the more uncontrolled laughter came out in a filled club. And on the CD playback, you hear me snort while laughing. It's so embarrassing.
Okay, that is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, can we get to Jody in British Columbia? Okay, yep. Jody's in British Columbia, Canada, Sirius XM 130, and a first-time caller. Look at this, you guys. This is awesome. Hi, Jody. Welcome.
Hi, Jerry. Hi, Debbie.
Hello.
Mine was about the one-way. I went down the wrong way on a one-way street. Anyway, my neighbor and I, we had to go down to the rental fort in Vancouver, and we're country people, so we had to go down right downtown to the big smoke. And so we were in the car. We weren't too worried about, the rental sport, but we were driving down, and then all of a sudden I realized I'm going down the wrong way of a one-way street. And both my friend and I looked at each other, and our mouths were these big O's like, oh, we're going down the wrong way. And then we started laughing because it was either going to be a laughter or crying. Yeah. And we started really laughing. And we thought, we've got to make it downtown. So we got down there, parked, got into the rental board, and we won. My friend did not have to be evicted. And then on the way home, we weren't so concerned about the eviction because we won. We were just talking about that one-way street all the way home and how we're never going to drive downtown Vancouver together again. So that was my story.
Oh, my goodness.
It was very funny.
Yeah, so please forgive me, Jody, but I have to tell you something. Jerry shared that he thinks in Spanish. That's the way his brain works. I think in movies. Okay, and as I was hearing you say this, I was thinking of the movie Planes, Trains and Automobiles. And I was laughing my head off just thinking of that. You're going the wrong way. You're going to kill somebody. That's a line from the movie. Pretty funny.
Have you seen the movie, Jody?
I have. I laughed my head off at that movie. It was hilarious. Yes. Yeah, and I've done the blue-black shoes, and I've knelt in mass and had the price tags on my shoes, so everybody at the Neeler knew how much I paid for them.
Oh.
I know, because I forgot to take them off the bottom of the shoe,
right.
And I thought, oh well.
Right. Oh, that. Oh my goodness.
Now everyone knows what a high roller you are.
Yeah, that's right. It was a good sale price.
Good for you. Good for you. All right, thanks, Jody. Appreciate that so much. Julie, and we are just not going to have time. We'd be able to give you about 30 seconds, and that wouldn't be fair, but we would love to hear what you were going to share on the air in an email at take2@ewtn.com. Wow.
Yeah,
Fun
great show.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday we had our best of on Guardian Angels. We had a lot of feedback. We also had our show on Friday with our guest, Bill Federer. Federer. And it was fabulous talking about independence, and it was just amazing. So we had a lot of nice feedback on that. So technically this is the beginning of our week of live shows, and I think you guys did a fine job. So thank you so very much. Tomorrow, Jerry, I understand we're going to be talking about martyrs in the church and what we have learned from them and how inspiring they can be.
Yeah. Are you inspired by the martyrs? Do you have a favorite one? Do you know the story of how they were martyred, put to death for the sake of the gospel, for Jesus Christ? Be thinking about that and be getting ready for the show tomorrow. On Thursday, we're going to talk about living together before marriage. That was suggested by a listener named Robin from Wichita. And then on Friday, listener Kelly suggested the power of confession. Have you experienced that in your life? I want to hear about that.
And that's part of our prayer and fasting that we are taking on till the end of the year. Don't forget to like us on Jerry and Debbie Facebook. We're going to be presenting Vera Maria Santo, the interview we did with her. You're going to want to see that on Facebook. All you got to do is like us on Jerry and Debbie.
Okay, thanks to the show team, Michael Birchfield, our producer, Michael McCall with screening calls today, Jeff Burson, our social media manager, and thank you to the affiliates who carry the program, and Debbie, thanks to everyone who called in and made it a great show.
Oh, absolutely. We just love you guys. We hope you had a wonderful Independence Day and weekend, and we look forward to being with you again tomorrow. But until tomorrow, we always wish you this. Have a beautiful and blessed day. See you real soon.
You've heard of the incredible shrinking man? This is Dr. Ray Gurendi. I am the incredible manly shrink. The doctor is in next.
EWTN is now on Twitter. Get short, timely messages from EWTN on your computer or cell phone. It's easy to stay up to date.